Welcome into the Sporty Show. Sarah Ferrari, your host, joining you as always with the tallest man in Madrid, Alex Ashmore.
How are we doing?
We're doing all right. A bit of a sticky one today as we are missing KlintonCod. Obviously, guys, he came yesterday. He dropped a big announcement. You guys saw that. Breaking news for all of you guys. But unfortunately, he won't be here today. It's a bit too bad because it was his farewell show.
It was. It would have been nice to give him a proper send-off. Maybe some, I don't know, we've had cakes for people's birthdays. Cake for leaving doesn't feel quite right, but...
It doesn't, but he does have a message for you guys all at home and watching across. So, a message from Mr. KlintonCod.
Today is a special day. I waited a long time for this. An opportunity to rewrite my story.
Please welcome to Leganes, Sporty TV.
You didn't think you were getting rid of us that quickly, did you?
You guys thought you could get rid of me.
Oh no, I think I said that to you.
It ain't happening, bro. Are you mad? Bro, are you mad? Bro, I own this seat, bro. No one taking it from me, fam. Are you mad, bro? Anyways, guys, I ain't going nowhere. I am here to live. We die here. Anyways, that was a very special moment. The Sporty TV, in partnership with Leganes, based here in Madrid. So, God, I've been through a lot, Alex. I've been through a lot, Sarah. Literally the last 24 hours. Oh my God, you know, my heart is still pumping. Listen, I'm even speechless, man. But anyways, I think I've pretty much made it known. I ain't going nowhere, man. I'm not going. Wait, if I was actually going, you know, hey, okay, no.
Get out. All right, guys, yes, that is the big news here. Sporty TV has officially partnered with Leganes, a La Liga team here based in Real Madrid. You've seen them on Sporty TV, and now we're bringing that relationship closer to all of you fans in Africa because we are now partnered not only with La Liga, but a team in La Liga. And Klinton thought it was him himself who was going to be joining a professional football team. Not quite yet. Here is a little announcement that we have. Sporty TV's Africa Premier Sports broadcaster has entered into a landmark partnership with Leganes, securing its position as the club's main lateral sponsor and official media partner until the end of the season. The alliance goes beyond branding. It's a bold statement of intent. CD Leganes and Sporty TV are bridging the gap between African talent and European football, offering a stage for young, aspiring footballs to have their stories told. So we are absolutely pleased to present you guys with this. And I'm really excited because it just makes La Liga even that much more exciting, gentlemen.
And absolutely. I am extremely excited for everything I'm just hearing about Africa, the La Liga, you know, football is just good to hear, man.
Is there a little part of you that's gutted you're not playing on Saturday against Real Madrid?
I mean, fact is, honestly, it's not.
That's if you would have got in the starting 11.
No, it's not. I mean, I would have actually, but it's not just a part of me. It's a whole, literally every part of me is gutted. Because I should be playing in that game, man. I literally thought I was playing for real. At some points, it was just, you know, I was thinking out loud. You know, when you're just wishing, having those, oh man, what if? You know, it was. But anyways, I'm gonna be in. Actually, I'm still gonna be in the game, maybe watching.
Well, we're going to be at the game watching.
Oh yeah, we are going to be at the game watching.
Because guys, this is officially the Sporty TV derby. Real Madrid taking on Leganes, and now we have a little bit of a partnership with both of these sides. So we're calling it the Sporty TV derby. Yep. All right, guys, here's what's coming up on today's show.
Coming up on the Sporty Show, club football is back. We have some exciting matches to cover. In La Liga, the title race is on. Real Madrid will take on Leganes. Atletico Madrid will face Espanyol. We'll take you through all the action in Serie A and all of Europe's top leagues. And of course, we have all the booking codes for you that could make you rich. KlintonCod is here to stay. Stay tuned, we have an exciting show for you.
Yeah, there's no crying today.
No, definitely not. I'm just, it's all happiness, man.
It's all positive vibes.
Absolutely.
All right, well, we will join Chantal in just a moment, but this is what's coming up this weekend on Sporty TV right after today's show. Once again, we have EuroLeague, and it's Bayern Munich taking on Partizan Mozart. Tomorrow in the J-League, it's Osaka versus Urawa and Shenzhen versus Yunnan Yukon. Fenerbahce will be taking on Baskonia in basketball as well, and the EFL Championship sees Sheffield United versus Coventry. Sydney FC take on Melbourne City, and Saturday, FC Tokyo versus Kawasaki, as well as Watford and Plymouth Argyle. In the Bundesliga, it's the big one, Frankfurt versus Stuttgart, Brisbane versus Auckland, AEK versus PAOK in the Super League in Greece, and finally, we'll end it all off in the Serie A with Napoli taking on AC Milan. So lots and lots of football coming your way, as we always have on Sporty TV. But let's go and jump to Chantal, who will be talking to everyone on social media today. Chantal, we need to hear what's happening. What is the consensus here? Are people freaking out? Are they happy? Are they happy that Mr. KlintonCod is not leaving our beautiful desk here?
No, there was an uproar for sure that he was going to leave, but I can tell you that they're quite happy that he's here to stay.
That's very good.
But
Clinton,
guys,
how
don't
does that make
forget,
you feel?
continue, keep sending the comments for sure.
Well, first of all, I
I'll be
just want to
reading
let
the best ones.
Right. Okay. I just want to just say a few things about my observation between yesterday and today. Now, it's been a kind of a love-hate relationship between people who have seen us on this show, and obviously know I'm the guy who causes the chaos. You know, I'm the really controversial person. I'm the one whom I've literally received so many hates on this show. But listen, I'm happy about it though, because I'm going to be getting more hits. I'm going to be even doing more. I'm going to be doing more. Yes. I'm not changing. I'm going to be that guy, okay? So, those of you who are going to miss me, I love you, man. I cannot believe, Alex, the love, though. Hey.
Even my mum messaged me
God,
saying, why is Clinton going?
I didn't know that your mom loves me, man.
Well, I wouldn't go that far.
Sorry,
Too easy.
can you give me your mom's number, man?
Right, look, calm down here.
Bro, remember, I'm way older than you, man. I mean, since, you know, anyways, you never know.
You say,
Let's not,
get out of here.
you never know, bro. You never know, bro.
I would not be having that if I were you.
But you know, I love them older than me, though.
Moving on.
All right, Chantal, I just want to jump back with you really quick because, like I mentioned, there is some EuroLeague coming up once again after today's show. Bayern Munich taking on Partizan Mozart. Yeah? Perfect. All right.
Yeah,
I just lost my train of thought for a minute. What are your thoughts on this match, as you were obviously at the Real Madrid and Milano match earlier this week?
No, this match, I feel like it will be a very good one. Well, it's not going to be, I want to say it should be an easy one, but yesterday I said that for Panathinaikos and it was a close one. 99-92, that was the final score. But for Partizan, they have their top scorer, Carlick Jones. I feel like it's all going to play into how well he does. And it's the same thing for Bayern as well with their top scorers. So it's going to be a very interesting one to watch. So go ahead and, of course, watch that one. And if you feel lucky, I would go and place a bet. The odds aren't looking too bad, actually, on Sporty Bet.
All right. Well, thank you, Chantal. Thank you very much. And remember, guys, on our Facebook, jump on the comments and let Chantal know how you're feeling about KlintonCod's miraculous return.
Apparently, we're back on YouTube as well.
We're back on YouTube.
We are.
Oh, it's good somebody told me that. Maybe I'll just go check.
We are back on YouTube! Ah! Okay, well, I don't know if...
The chaos ensues.
Woo!
Took about 4 minutes back on the show, and KlintonCod is doing what KlintonCod does. All right, well, we do have to talk about Real Madrid and Leganes, now two massive teams here for the Sporty Show. Clinton, you and I are actually going to be at that match. We'll be pitch side at halftime, joining live with Sporty Live in Lagos, Nigeria. So it's a big Sporty family reunion. Let's get into it, though, because La Liga is hot right now. We were talking about this yesterday. The fight for the title continues. And the thing is that makes this interesting is that, yes, Real Madrid are fighting for the top, but Leganes are fighting to stay out of relegation. They also are looking for a win in this one, and they'll be playing at the Santiago Bernabeu. Not an easy place to play. How do you feel about this match? Are you excited now, especially with this deal that we have? There's just a bit more added to this.
No, absolutely. In as much as because of the deal, I'll be happy to see Leganes kind of like win. However, I'm still not forgetting that we are one of those, or I am that Real Madrid guy whom I always vouch for them. I always want them to win. It still doesn't mean that I don't like chaos, okay? I would love to, we'll go into the game, see Leganes first scoring a goal, just to kind of bring that excitement. Let's be happy for the fact that we've just had a deal with Sporty TV, Leganes. Let's celebrate with the first goal. But we know that there is no, I have to be truthful. I have to say my mind. There's no way Leganes will be going to the Bernabeu and they're getting a win. It's impossible. There's nothing impossible, but I know it's impossible.
But now we're partnered with Leganes, actually.
That's why I said the maximum that I'm praying or I'm hoping that will be happening with Leganes is scoring a goal. If it's a first goal, even better. It just means that there's going to be some level or glimpse of hope for the Leganes fans to be like, wait, did we just score a goal? And then by the time they're all screaming, I'll be seeing Sporty TV on the jersey. Let's just get that first half an hour of happiness, and then we know it's not going to last. Like, they know, I know, Leganes players, they know.
You have to be cheering for Leganes now.
What?
That's it. You have to be cheering for Leganes now,
Fam.
guys. No, you just said Sporty on the jersey. Actually, if we can make this big screen, please, because we do have to show you guys what we're working with.
Look at that beautiful stuff.
Look at this beautiful jersey.
So this is what every single Leganes player will be wearing between now and whenever.
I just want to show you guys. This is
No, actually,
sorry.
taking it away.
Sorry. Look at the love.
Look at how sweet that
The
looks,
heart
man.
with Africa. No, I love this.
No, I actually do love you as well.
I love this.
I see myself
when have
rocking
you
that
seen
one.
something like this on a jersey?
No, never. You'll
Guys,
never see it. Even if you see it, it's not going to be as beautiful as Sporty TV one, 100%. That one is
So
sexy.
Clinton will actually be wearing this on Saturday.
I can't believe I'm going to be wearing
This is the team he's going to
it.
be supporting. Leganes and Sporty. You guys seen it here first.
Ha! Real Madrid. Real Madrid. Hey, so you mean I'm not going to be singing Hey,
You have to
Story? What, do you know the anthem, Leganes?
I don't know the anthem, but I
know
think
the
I know.
anthem.
Well, please.
Sing it. She don't stop.
Come on, man. Come on. I was already getting into the key, man. Do me, I do you. Man, no go vest. Step on the dance floor. Man, no go vest. Touch me, I touch you.
No, stop.
Man, no go vest. Say, man, no go vest. Say, man, Leganes, do me, I do you. But wait, Alex, do you think I could go on X Factor, though?
No. Do you want the honest answer? No.
No, okay, give me the.
You could go on.
No.
You wouldn't go through. You could go on. You'd be part
you
of that
should go on.
those YouTube
No, I don't.
compilation videos
Alex.
of worst X Factor auditions.
Alex, don't speak to me again. Get out of here, bro.
I'm just getting you back after what you said earlier at the beginning of the show.
What did
I can't. I'm not getting it.
No,
I'm
wait.
not getting
Should you continue? Wait, does she have an Instagram account?
Stop. Absolutely stop. Sorry, I do have to just read one comment now. I know we're supposed to check in with Chantal, but we need to move along here. Tijesu said, is Alex that tall or is Clinton too short? What a way to start the show. Kudos to the producers, because obviously they're talking about the advert that we just had, and there's a photo of all of us standing, and...
Should we stand up again? Just to
Yeah.
All right, no, let's clarify this stuff. So, guys, please watching. What they always do is, first of all, Alex, he's tall, but he's unreasonably tall. Okay, so he's not normally tall. So there's normal tall, and his one is an abnormal tall. Okay, so anybody that stands next to Alex, whether you are tall.
To be fair, when I first saw it, I actually was like, it's incredible. We look like children.
And Sara, on the other hand, she was wearing high heels. Okay. Which
No, I wasn't. I was wearing sneakers.
Yes, you were.
No, I wasn't.
Yes,
I will
you were.
call Javi down here right now.
Call Javi. Everybody know you were
I was
wearing
wearing
heels.
Adidas Speciales, and you know they're all flat.
Whatever, guys.
Whatever, guys. All right, let's talk a little bit more about Real Madrid and Leganes, and let's welcome to the show Kosi from Sporty FM in Accra. Kosi, how are we doing? And please tell me how good this shirt looks. Come on, Kosi. Look at this. Look at this.
This is beautiful. It's, You know what? I wear 3XL, so I will be waiting
Alex.
for my shirt. So I will be waiting for my shirt, and I'll wear it every day, man. I'll wear it to church. I'll wear it to the studio.
I love that.
I registered for the gym 4 months ago. I've not been yet. When I start going, I'll wear.
Amazing. No, it's quite beautiful. But listen, we're gonna be there. Clinton and I, Real Madrid, Leganes. How are you feeling about this match? You know, coming back from international break, it's always an interesting one.
Yeah, amazing. I mean, it's a derby as well, but then again, it is a big one. It's a big one for both teams, and especially for Leganes, simply because now there's a new partnership with Sporty TV, which is absolutely phenomenal. I'm excited about it. And hello, Clinton, how are you?
Hello, big man. Have fun now.
You know, when I saw Clinton was leaving, I thought for a second he was going to coach Nigeria because they needed him.
Actually, yes, they do need me as a player, but not as a coach.
No, as a coach. Okay. Anyway, we'll come back to that talking about Real Madrid. But then again, I mean, big game, big game. Real Madrid, the title race is split wide open. I mean, Barcelona have a game in hand, which they will be honoring, I think, tonight against Osasuna. Real Madrid, Atletico as well are that chasing pack. So big game for both teams. Real Madrid need to lay down the gauntlet and let everybody understand that, listen, if they are to go in and stake a claim for this La Liga title, it's a game they need to win. But then when you have derbies like these, it completely takes the form guide, rips it out, and throws it out the window. It's playing for pride. It's playing for the people that own the city, even though Real Madrid are miles ahead with regards to their dominance. But then again, it will be a big game. Real Madrid will have to get their A game on point. The likes of Vinicius Jr. are coming back from a long international break in South America. They need to stamp a certain level of authority. It's a game which they want to win and win convincingly. Because at this point in the season, the results are not only 3 points on the board, they are psychological messages to all your rivals. If they go out there and they thump Leganes, it will send a message across to Barcelona and Atletico Madrid that Real Madrid are not to be taken for granted. So big game, and we'll look forward to it. And we'll watch it predominantly because we'll be staring at that Sporty logo on that Leganes jersey.
Absolutely. Talking about international break, Clinton, obviously, Vinny coming back from Brazil, Rodrigo coming back from Brazil. Both of them played both matches. Fede played both matches for Uruguay. Endrick made some appearances for Brazil. Well, a lot of players, Kylian Mbappe, as we know, France. So a lot of players going to come back tired. How do you think this is going to affect Real Madrid? Well,
If they were coming back to play this game just immediately after playing their international break games, I don't think. I think that maybe I would have had some kind of issue. But Sarah, they have slept a couple of days, right? They went on a plane. In that plane, they slept. Some of them, depending on how long the flight is, some of them have had really good food. Okay, they've literally enjoyed their lives. Some of them went clubbing and they did stuff. Now, if they are coming back to, I don't think there's anything about tiredness here, right? They are going to come back. The ones who won their games, they're going to come back pretty much very energized. The likes of Kylian Mbappe, maybe Rodrigo, Vinicius, the Brazilians, they might come back feeling some level of low. Now, it goes both ways. It's either they are getting that as a motivation to kind of like get their mojo back. Mm-hmm. They went through some level of humiliation against Argentina. Now, what the like of Vinicius will be wanting to do at this point is, guys, listen, whatever happened there, it happened. However, let me still show you who this Vinicius is, okay? And this is the reason why I feel so bad for Leganes and Sporty TV, right? For Leganes and their jersey, okay? Because Vinicius and the rest, they are going to be going through, literally, they are going to be angry, like proper angry. Mm-hmm. And in my opinion, like I said, I love chaos. I don't like peace. I want problem. Do I want Leganes to be the first to score? I want them to score. Do I want Real Madrid to lose the game? I don't know. Do I want Real Madrid to win the La Liga? Of course. This is a very difficult situation with Sporty TV going to Leganes, man. Now, I'm confused. I don't know what to support at this point.
Draw?
But listen, I don't want draw because it just means that my Sporty code is not going to. I want to look after that code, man.
There's too many alarms.
There's just so much. Like I've never been this confused in my life. Like Real Madrid, Leganes, Real Madrid, Sporty Bet, which obviously, we have something with Leganes, Sporty TV. No, but okay, wait. If you were me, Sarah, what would you do? Or who would you support at this point?
Do you want to keep your job?
Which of the jobs?
I can't speak for you.
You see how confused I am now, right?
I mean, you have 10 teams, so I mean, it's just about which one you're picking on the day, and it just happens that 2 of them are
Leganes has just joined in. That's the thing.
Leganes has joined the roster now,
Leganes has
too.
joined.
So it's difficult to go back and forth, but you got to give some love to Leganes, as this is obviously huge for Sporty TV. You're gonna go back and forth.
Okay.
I think you want to see good goals. I think you'll be happy either way. If either like, let's say it somehow is a 3-2 for either Leganes or Real Madrid, that's your perfect scenario.
Absolutely, but then again, would I want Leganes to lose? Maybe not.
No, I'm saying 3-2, whether it's 3-2 Real Madrid, 3-2 Leganes. Because you're going to see 5
Yeah,
goals.
but I don't want Real Madrid to lose the game.
Oh,
I
okay.
want them. I literally want
You want them
to,
both to win?
No, yeah, I want the both of them to win. If that was possible, of course, let's go for it. but Real Madrid, Sarah, you know it. We know how far Barcelona are taking this league title. They're literally taking it very seriously. Now, their greatest competitors at this point is Real Madrid, Atletico Madrid, and maybe Bilbao to an extent. Yeah. Any slip from Real Madrid, it just means they are going to Barcelona with Liverpool this league title. And I don't want that to happen. I want Real Madrid to win the league title. Yeah. But do I want Leganes to lose? I don't want them to lose either. So let's just say it's a draw. And maybe...
And then your booking code loses.
Oh, no. Oh, God, you see the problem now. Now you see the problem.
You're actually in a lose-lose. You're gonna lose.
You should just not go to the game. Just don't watch it. Pretend it's not happening.
Sorry, one of our video directors is saying I should kiss the Leganes badge. Hang on. But it still doesn't mean that Leganes will win the game, though.
Alex, let's talk a little bit about Leganes, because as Kosi and I mentioned, they're in 18th. They're right now in relegation, but they're tied for points with Deportivo Alaves, who are sitting just above them because of that head-to-head and that goal differential. But Leganes are desperate right now for a win. Leganes have beaten Barcelona. Leganes have beaten Atletico Madrid. Leganes arguably should have beat Real Madrid even in the Copa del Rey. They gave them a run for their money. So what does it mean? It means that we know Leganes can perform against big teams.
Yes.
Alex, they have a little bit more to fight for. They also don't have any, as many players exhausted from, let's say, international break as well. And we're at that point of the season where we've turned the corner now. There's no more international breaks. Every game matters. Yes, going against Real Madrid at the Santiago Bernabeu is obviously a game that they're thinking, I don't know if we can get points in this one, but they have to think about that for every match regardless. It's the mentality they need. Is there a chance that Leganes are going to be able to get a point out of this?
I mean, there's always a chance. Football, anything can happen. We've seen, like you said there, the results that they pulled off this season, beating Atleti at home, Barca away. And I think when it comes into this latter stage of the season with, 10 games to go, 2 months, Leganes especially fighting for survival, looking to push themselves as far away from that drop zone as they can, it means that little bit more perhaps than it would have done back in November. I'm not saying they're going to try harder now than they would have in November, but I think the realisation of, wow, we're really in a sticky situation here, we have to leave it all out on the pitch. So you never know. I don't think they'll pull off an upset. I think Real Madrid will have what it takes to get the win on Saturday, but it'll be a difficult match. It always is against any team in La Liga, but especially when it's against a local rival. Leganes will be up for it, beating their big brother, so to speak, in that rivalry aspect. And
I mean, how crazy would it be if they could say that we'd be the top 3?
I mean,
Like that for them alone is
especially well, when Leganes beat Barcelona, was it in Leganes or was it?
it was in Barcelona.
Oh, wasn't it in Leganes?
They beat Atleti.
They beat yeah. Pardon me.
They
and
beat
then
Atleti where?
Barcelona at Montjuic.
They beat Atleti where?
In Leganes at Bucaque.
Okay. Now, could you imagine beating Real Madrid in the Bernabeu? Do you think there's any possibility of foreseeing such?
Slim.
How slim?
Hard to say. You know what I will say, though, and Kosi, tell me if I'm right with this, is after international break, I find any match across any of the leagues, Prem, Serie A, La Liga, it's always a toss-up because the players, it does play a factor of how they did over the international break, mentality, like Clinton said, and the exhaustion. Do you not think that sometimes after international break, those matches are a little bit up in the air?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, there's always that element of players coming in, players refreshing, a change in mentality, players recuperating, getting back up to speed. So I always tell my investors, if you know who my investors are, I tell my investors that Oh, you don't know who the investors are?
The only
Wow,
investor
the
I know is a
investors
guy
are the
called
people-
Sabinus in Nigeria.
So the investors are the guys. They are financial analysts. They study trends of games to put them on a certain slip where there's a probability of them winning a lot of money. So I'm just speaking a lot of English for people who bet. But then again, yes. Yeah, so I tell them after the international breaks, dynamics are always different. So you need to be very careful. I mean, same with these games. A lot of players are returning to their teams, getting back into the routine again, having that fresh start. So mentally, physically, there's always that little margin, that difference in performance levels. So you do realize that sometimes the results would surprise you. But then again, I mean, in games like these, there's different motivations. Like you said, Leganes can have the bragging rights of beating the top three. They can also have the bragging rights of ruling the city. You look across their last 3 games, they threw a 2-goal lead away against Real Betis. They've lost 2 of those 3. They want to regain that foothold when it comes to fighting for their lives in the league. So all of these things are dynamics that would surround this particular game. And it adds a lot of flair and flavor to the game as well. Because when you watch games that have plots and subplots, it's like you're watching a movie. There's a lot that has to unfold. These games are more than 90 minutes. They are more than the kicks, the flicks, and the tackles. They're about a lot of bragging rights. They're about teams fighting for survival. They're about teams fighting to be in the league. So there's a lot of factors that are surrounding this game. And I believe it will be a very exciting game. Leganes have scored a lot of goals in their last 6 games, but they've conceded a lot as well. So it should show you that there will be goals in this particular game. Aside goals, there will be excitement. Just maybe Clint will be on the bench for Leganes if they register him on time.
I hope. Trust me. If I was there, I don't see Real Madrid winning this one though.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, definitely. Clint is a top striker.
Thank
he's,
you.
One of the best strikers coming out of Nigeria. He scored
Kosi,
2 goals
sorry,
in 92
just
games.
quick one. Sorry, how much has he paid you for that?
I give him 2 Bitcoin.
Yeah, and
Where do you think he got the money to buy a Richard Mille?
Sorry, okay, we're not doing this. We're not doing
Look
this.
at you.
Talking about betting.
I am not wearing a Richard Mille today. I'm wearing a Casio.
Right. Okay.
Anyway,
okay. I hope the Richard
yeah.
Mille has not stopped ticking. Or it's not.
It is working perfectly, my brother.
Oh, right.
He's a man of style. He can't wear the
Yes.
same watch every day.
Oh, damn, man. That's next level.
Talking about, you asked me what chance would I give Leganes this weekend. SportyBet have given them a chance of 16.36.
So there's no hope.
It's interesting, as now that we're on the shirt and all, maybe we should just bring that down a bit.
Yeah.
Okay,
But Real
guys.
Madrid are 1.16.
All right. Well, Clinton and I will be there at that match, so make sure to tune in on all the socials. I know Clinton will be going crazy. We're going to connect with Sporty Live in Lagos, so it's going to be an entire sporty affair, so make sure to tune in, guys. Let's move along, though, because Barcelona are in action tonight, and that could also play into what happens in La Liga this weekend. They'll be taking on Osasuna tonight, as that match was rescheduled after the passing of Barcelona's first-team doctor a few weeks back. Now Barcelona also play on Sunday, less than 72 hours, against Girona. So a massive weekend for the Blaugrana, guys. We saw last time around, Osasuna got the better of Barcelona with Brian Zaragoza getting the winner in that one. Coming off an international break, Alex, no Ronald Araujo or Rafinha because they just played 2 days ago, even less than 48 hours ago, had to do that transatlantic flight. So they're not there. Pau Cubarsí picking up an ankle injury in the first leg against Netherlands, so he's not there. But Inigo Martinez has deemed fit and likely to play in this one. But a lot of big misses for Barcelona. And besides that, a lot of the players that are going to be on the pitch, Lamine Yamal, Pedri, they're going to be exhausted because they've played a lot of football as well. This is going to be a very difficult match for Barcelona.
It will be, but, and I think you said this yesterday, using the words of the Osasuna players, would have been, obviously for the whole week, would have been preparing, but relaxing on a beach somewhere, recuperating, rebuilding their energy and getting back to 100% after a difficult couple months of football. But if Barcelona could have picked one team in La Liga, I think Osasuna would have been up there. Osasuna have only won 1 of their last 10 games. They're on some pretty shocking form. Can't seem to get 2 wins together. And it's been, I think, disappointing when you look at they started quite well to the beginning, towards the beginning of the season, and they have been. They always are a team that are difficult to face, and especially if it's at El Sadar. But I think it will be difficult. But I think Barcelona have the capabilities to handle what Osasuna will be offering. I think the squad depth that Barcelona have will help. Yes, some of those players will still be very tired from the international break and recovering from injuries and whatnot. But I think Barcelona will have what it takes to get the win tonight.
Can I just give my quick opinion regarding that game, Sarah?
No.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not
That's why you're here on the show, my friend.
Now, you see, I don't think if I would listen, there are some games that you'd be like, okay, for example, we just spoken about Leganes versus Real Madrid, and we spoke about how much they've played big teams and how they've won about 2 of them, and who knows what's going to happen on Saturday. And in my opinion, when you look at this Osasuna side, right, look at the last couple of games, though, right? Look at the caliber of team they've played, right? They played, Getafe. With a red card, Getafe still won the game, right? You come down to a Valencia, whom, in my opinion, they've still been really poor this season. They drew that game, right? Okay, they played the Real Madrid. Real Madrid we got a red card in that game. It was a draw. Now, in my opinion, I think Real Madrid, I wouldn't know what would have gone wrong, but we understand Real Madrid sometimes, things are kind of like off here and there. You look at them playing a Celta Vigo, they lost the game. Mallorca, they drew. Real Sociedad, they had a red card, 2-0 defeat. Listen, this is a Barcelona we're speaking about. Barcelona arguably being the best team in La Liga, facing an extremely poor Osasuna. At this point, we're not. If, say, for example, people were going to go on SportyBet, this is not the point where you're thinking, who's going to win? You are talking about goals now. In my opinion, what am I going to put on this? I'm just putting over 3.5 home, not even combined. Home. It's literally a walkthrough for a Barcelona, especially with what's happening with Rafinha from Brazil.
Rafinha's not playing.
Oh.
So, thank you. So, welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, one of the best players for Barcelona isn't playing, as I said, because him and Araujo played literally less than 48 hours ago in Brazil and Uruguay, and they had to come back. And it's not enough because this game wasn't supposed to happen today, but they made it happen.
I know you've been busy doing your medicals with Leganes and
Yes,
getting ready. You haven't been paying attention, but this was just 2 days ago.
Oh, no, I didn't. I mean, like you said,
You're a
obviously,
big shot striker
no, for real. Leganes, I was in the stadium doing my announcement video and stuff, and we have a very tough game on Saturday. So there's no way I was going to go pay attention to what's going on with Rafinha and Brazil and what's happening to them. Anyway, sorry, but I still saw Barcelona still, having a very decent win, though, in my opinion. Okay. I don't think it's still going to be. I mean, I've just shown you guys, a couple of teams with red cards, they've not been able to win. I think maybe 1 or 2 players or top players for Barcelona not being there would cause any much havoc for Barcelona not being able to give that level of win I would expect from them.
Yeah, let's see. I mean, Kosi, do you think, though, the fact that Barcelona are playing 3 matches in the next 8 games, obviously this Osasuna, like I mentioned, they're taking on Girona on Sunday, and then they have that massive Copa del Rey second leg against Atletico Madrid here in Madrid on Wednesday. There's a bit of Hansi Flick that's going to need to kind of compartmentalize each game and figure out how to get a win in all of them, obviously. But how does he go about doing this?
Hansi, he has to flick the right switches and switch his team around for these 3 games. I mean, tough games. So Osasuna will be a tough one mentally as well, considering the fact that they managed to get scalped over Barcelona. But then again, you're missing some big players. But then there are a lot of other players that have an opportunity to stand up and be counted. Ansu Fati has craved his chance. He just might get it. Ferran Torres, the super sub, might just have an opportunity.
The super sub, senor. Have you seen him start a match on that wing? He's the super sub, and that's where he should stay. Ferran Torres, whenever he starts a match, has proven to be absolutely unnoticeable on that wing where Rafinha plays. He doesn't know where to go. He doesn't track back. But as a sub, there's this different mentality. Yeah. All of a sudden, he knows what he needs to do. He just knows where he needs to be. But as a starter, I think 2 completely different players. So that right there, you're starting Ferran Torres, Lewandowski, and Lamine Yamal. That is already whole. That's 1 hole.
Yeah, but at this point, they don't have a choice. Funny enough, last night on my show, we put out a poll for the top 5 super subs of all time. And, and Ferran, yeah, we did.
I love this, actually. I want to see this.
What was Clinton in that?
No, I'm a superstar.
Yeah, super. And actually, Ferran Torres made it onto people's lists. as well. So these are players who actually, Ferran Torres made it onto people's lists.
Who was the top five? Who was the top five? I want to see this.
So we had Ole Gunnar Solskjaer in there. We had Javier Hernandez, Chicharito in there. I'll get that list for you. It should be in there. But it was a very interesting poll.
Apart from Ferran Torres, obviously, who's one of the players still playing now, what are that players currently playing still go on that list?
Alexander Sorloth.
He should be on that.
Yes.
Yes. But there's one player. I'm just waiting for one person to mention.
Real Madrid.
Who's that? Talk to me. Tell me.
No, he's actually a
Let's
Premier
see if
League
he's on the
player.
list.
Oh, it's a Premier
You're going
League.
to say Leandro Trossard? Well, beginning of the season, maybe
true.
he was, but less so now.
Yeah, at some point.
Who's he played for?
Yeah, I mean, if I tell you who he plays for, you would obviously know. It's very easy, man.
Man United.
Boy, that's going to be easy for you too. Come on, man. Wait, but no, because we've spoken about this person on this show so many times. Please, guys, if you're in our comment section, I'm not going to say it right now. This person is a Premier League player. I want to say something. If I say it now, I'm just going to give it away. But this is somebody who I know everybody knows.
It was from all eras. In fact, even your own Julius
It's from this era.
at a point
It's
made it
from
on the
right
list.
Not from my era.
That's a different era to this.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying.
The Stone Age.
I know, because in my opinion, this is a very good quiz. The super sub that everybody knows.
Yeah.
Sarah knows. I know because we've spoken about this person on this show. Alex even knows more. I would have expected Alex being a football walking encyclopedia, right? What should be saying, Clinton?
Don't tell me the club. What position does he play? Is he a striker?
He's a striker, yes.
Okay.
Wait, but we know.
John Duran. John Duran.
Thank you.
Ah.
Sorry, John Duran.
Yeah, no,
doesn't play
John
in the
Duran.
Premier League.
I know. That's the reason why I was going to say. There's something I want to say. Oh, even McInerney. I was going to say if I had mentioned it, because if I had said no, the person is just gone to the Saudi. You guys everybody would have said it.
Darwin Núñez, actually, that's not a bad suggestion as well.
No, it's definitely not.
People shot Darwin Núñez off that list. John Duran was on a lot of people's list as well. They said Darwin Núñez has done it 3 times in his career. That's about it. And he doesn't qualify to be on that
I would definitely not put a Darwin Núñez there, to be honest. Because
top 5, no.
And people also had Divock Origi on that list as well.
I
don't know.
Yeah, so
I don't know either, man.
It was that all-important goal against Barcelona in the Champions League semi-final in 2019.
So does that make you a super sub for 1 goal?
I mean, he's done it more than that. I think probably the memory, maybe not top 5, but he's definitely been an impact sub in his career. I think there are players of this generation and previous that should get there above him.
Yeah, I mean, it was interesting last night. It was a tag of war on my show last night. People were getting over themselves. We have another interesting one tonight. We'll speak about that. Top centre backs of all.
Top centre back.
No, we can't stop. We're not going to start. We're not going to do it. No. That's for their show. Tune into Sporty FM this evening.
Yes.
Tune into Sporty FM this evening. All right, guys, let's move along. We also have, actually, I have a booking code for you guys for Barcelona and Osasuna. I will drop it at the end of the show, so stay tuned for that one. We also have El Gran Derby, Sevilla versus Betis, a massive match in Andalusia and all of Spain. Take a look at this. Not sure what that was. Sorry, my face was.
I thought that was part of the...
I kind of thought it was part of it too. Yeah. Our producers had us there. Well, Alex and I got the chance to speak to a few players. Alex got to speak to Pablo Fornals of Betis, myself. Oh my God,
I'll give you a second.
Aker Adams, sorry, I had a blank. Aker Adams, fellow Nigerian to KlintonCod, who just moved to Sevilla from Montpellier and picked up an injury, but healthy, fully fit, and looking to get some minutes in one of the biggest matches Sevilla will have. I mean, the biggest one for them, really. So both of those interviews will be on YouTube later today and all over socials. But Pablo Fornals feeling motivated for this one.
Yeah, I think, obviously not quite the same severity as Aker Adams, but had his own injury problems this season. And playing under a manager he's very familiar with, playing under Manuel Pellegrini. He's played under him at West Ham, and coming into this game I think we were talking about this just before we went on air, that it's one of the fiercest derbies in football, in European football, in Spanish football, with the city of Seville on that weekend of a derby. Just, you can feel it, and it's going to be a really exciting one. And of course, the Benito Villamarín is always, both of them, the Ramon Sanchez Pizjuán as well, but it's going to be a cracking game and a cracking atmosphere as well.
Yeah, I'm really excited, and hopefully, Clinton, maybe we'll see another Nigerian make some way in La Liga, as Edgar Adams is trying to make some, what?
No, go on.
You're just having a laugh. By the way, Kosi, I did ask him whether he preferred Nigerian jollof rice or Ghanaian,
Ooh.
and he said Nigerian. So deep breath.
I think, you know the best way to conduct these tests, right? Blindfold him. Put Nigerian jollof in front of him. Put Ghanaian jollof in front of him. Don't tell him which is which, and ask him to choose.
Let's do
and
that
I
with
bet
you.
Yeah,
my last
Clinton, do you
penny.
think you would pass that test?
No, but you
course.
have come out and said Ghanaian jollof rice is better.
I mean, and this is something I'm not going to hide to
Yeah,
say behind anything. I've had to hide saying it in the past, but I'll still say it. In my opinion, I love Ghanaian jollof.
But as like, if we put a blindfold on you and put two in front of you and you
Sorry?
said Nigerian jollof rice was better.
You know the funny thing. I would actually love to do that test, but you know what the crazy thing is? I would always taste Ghanaian jollof, and I know which one is the Ghanaian jollof. Like it's the I don't.
What is the difference? What is the, like...
I don't know how to explain it. When it comes to our food, right? It's one of those that you can't find the meaning in dictionaries. You just have to
try
eat it. You have to try it. Okay.
Well, you
For
have
me,
to bring us some jollof rice.
no, definitely.
I've been hearing about this
Yes,
for 10
yes,
months.
since the last couple of
It's
months.
been so long.
No, but the problem is since I've been
Clinton, the Nigerian community in Ghana is listening to you right now.
I mean,
Not anymore.
like I said, sorry, did you say the Nigerian community or the Ghanaian community in Ghana?
The Nigerian community in Ghana are listening to you right
Nigerian jollof is obviously the best. Are you mad? Bro,
They will
look at
issue.
this guy, you.
There's a key words there.
They will
Nigerian
issue a
community in Ghana. They've gone to Ghana for the jollof rice.
Yeah, there you go.
That's true, yeah.
All right,
They crossed the border.
I've been told that we do have our video back. So, Betis and Sevilla this weekend. Take a look at this again.
I'm coming into a very good group and really positive environment. Yeah, a little stop with the injury, but all the same, it's part of the process. I'm back playing now and it feels good, feels very good.
Right now, in this moment where we are in the top of the wave, around this season we've been having some ups and downs, but we are in that moment right now, very good. We are alive in both competitions, how you say, we're really close to a fifth position, like it would be unreal for us.
They have an incredible relationship with the fans, the club, and for me that's very good that you can connect with them in a very intimate way, and that's very important. I think they all speak about it with a smile on their faces, so for me that's positive, and I think personally I just want to enjoy it. Maybe I would know after, but I don't want to look so much into the whole details of it. I just want to enjoy it, and I hope for my own team that we do our best and get the best out of the game.
Well, it's a bit intense, because how you know in this city it's not a space for other teams of the country. In this city everyone is Sevilla or Betis, and you can imagine these 2 weeks, obviously with this international break between, so it's 2 weeks to speak about the Grand Derby. And it's been quite hard, quite intense. Everyone has his own opinion or something to say in the street or even in the school when I pick my kids. So then they show the support in the stadium as well. So you have to accept all these things.
All right, guys, so El Gran Derby is this weekend, 9 p.m. on Sunday, WAT time in Sevilla at the Benito Villamarín. And just a reminder, Pablo Fornal's interview with Alex and Edgar Adams' interview with me will be on all of our socials this weekend, so make sure you check into them. All right, Chantal, what's going on socials?
A lot is going on. So, for one, DC Phenomenal on Facebook said, I'm really going to miss you, Clinton. Seriously. Well, he's here to stay. I don't think he got that memo as yet, but he's here to stay. Guys, I literally watched Markinde go through different emotions. Like, as soon as we were on, Markinde, why is that seat empty? Then he went off. What type of play is this, man? Bro, stop playing this type of play. So then, of course, he was happy that YouTube is back. Then he had a Hassan on Facebook who said, you guys made me feel sick yesterday about the sad news. Thank God, everything is fine now. Then you had Rich Hunter. Sarah, you should remind Clinton Nigeria's last scoreline whenever he screams or laughs. So I don't know if Rich Hunter is happy that he's here to stay, or Sarah, you need to be spiteful towards Clinton. I'm not sure, but there's a range of different emotions going on here.
It sounds like it. It sounds like it. Also, Chantal, I heard that you have a little something special from La Liga.
Yes, I do. So I'm going to unveil. Now, this, I'm hoping everyone can see it clearly.
There we go.
La
Perfect.
Liga has teamed up with EA Sports to promote their versus racism. So, you know, the ongoing fight against racism, there's no place for it in society or football. So if you see your favorite team players wearing this jersey, then you know that is the campaign to try and end racism in football and outside of football as well.
Brilliant stuff. We absolutely love to see that, Chantal, so thank you. And yeah, we've seen some of the teams starting to wear them as this campaign has just kicked off with La Liga. It started a couple of weeks ago now, but always great to try and get ahead of a situation that we know here in Spain is still being dealt with constantly, but we stand behind the footballers and all of those who are experiencing any racism, and we do not stand with it whatsoever. So happy to be seeing this from La Liga. All right, shall we move along to the FA Cup, guys, because there actually isn't any Premier League, but there is FA Cup action this weekend. High-flying Seagulls taking on Nottingham Forest. That's a big one. Kosi, I'll come to you first with the FA Cup. Are there any specific matchups that you are looking forward to this weekend?
Yeah, definitely. The one you just spoke about, the Nottingham Forest and the Brighton game, will be a very, very big one. Considering the fact that Nottingham Forest have punched above their weight this season. Brighton themselves have been very bright under Fabian Hessler, flying as high as they could, simply because of the fact that they have cemented the philosophy they've built over the last couple of years. I mean, get some young players in, a promising manager, play some swashbuckling football and beat the big boys. And Nottingham Forest would also be in danger of prioritizing the Premier League. But then again, I mean, there's a Premier League rest. So they would see this as an opportunity. And Nuno Espirito Santo has done an absolutely phenomenal job with this Nottingham Forest team, one that anybody and everybody will be proud of. So it will be a cracker. I mean, a few years ago, people would not have anticipated it would be, but that particularly will be a cracker of the game. It is one that I believe would crown the round this weekend.
Can you, Kosi, before we let you go, can you give us a score prediction for that one?
So, Clinton,
Yeah.
I am consulting.
What are you consulting? Do you have God?
I am Amadioha.
Okay. No, you said Amadioha. Do you know who Amadioha is?
Oh, no.
Okay, you don't want to know. Let's just leave it there. All right, consult. Let me hear your scoreline, man. Let me know if your God is if you even have a God.
Yes, so Clinton, there will be goals in that particular game.
That one, everybody know without gods.
And there will be quite a few goals. Both teams will snatch at each other. Chris Wood, fantastic form. So I believe that Nottingham Forest, by virtue of their physicality and the fact that they have that mental edge over Brighton and Hove Albion, will win. It will be a high-scoring game. It will be 3-2 Nottingham Forest.
3-2 to Nottingham Forest.
No, we were going for the
Yes,
Seagulls here on the show. We said last time we talked about FA Cup that we were going for Brighton to win the FA Cup.
No, I'm just repeating what he said.
No, I know. I'm saying, Kosi, you can't. As a unit here, we're all going for Brighton.
I'm going for Villa.
But the celestial voices are whispering something else into my ear. They're telling me that Nottingham Forest will be very strong. I mean, a lot of their players are coming back from international break. The likes of Ola Aina, who couldn't help Nigeria beat Zimbabwe.
Do you have to mention Nigeria? Like, do you have to? Like, see, this is
violence for the final words.
This is what I don't understand about these Ghanaians, man. Like, I don't. Why can we not just spread it without?
No, I mean it's a fact. It happened.
You
Anyway,
had your fun when
but then
they
again,
didn't qualify for AFCON.
you get what I'm coming
I
from.
mean,
don't
I
you?
didn't really doubt them like that, though. I wasn't this, like, I was even kind of pitying for them at some point, man.
Get out.
Don't worry. Yeah, so I just see Nottingham Forest. I mean, Brighton are fantastic. I mean, and they still got a few of their players also coming up from international break. The likes of John Paul van Heck, Verbruggen, etc., are coming back from international break. It will take a bit of a toll on them. But then I believe that Nottingham Forest just have a bit too much. That game will be at the Amex. Home advantage should play a part. That would spare Brighton on to get a few goals. But Nottingham Forest are on a certain level when it comes to physicality, on a certain level. I mean, if Morgan Gibbs-White is on form, if Callum Hudson-Odoi is flying high, if Jason Murillo at the back is doing an absolutely fantastic job, this team is pretty unstoppable. The reason why they are where they are on the table. So it will be a classic FA Cup tie. It will be feisty, it will be physical, it will be crunch. But then again, I believe Nottingham Forest have the edge over Brighton in this one.
All right, well, you heard it from Kosi first. Nottingham to beat Brighton this weekend, 3-2. Well, Kosi, it's been an absolute pleasure to have you on. As always, we hope you guys check out Sporty FM tonight with Kosi because they're going to be talking about the best center backs of all time. So stay tuned to Sporty FM.
I would love to really follow this one, but we'll wait for when we see them on the show again to see.
Yeah. I mean, we've done a few. The night before, we went through the best right backs of all time.
Making their way through the 11.
I know, for real, yeah.
Yeah, it was crazy. I mean, the best strikers of all time. We had a list of like 15. So it was
15.
Yeah. People were bringing back the likes of Hernan Crespo. They were bringing back Gabriel Bastituta. They were bringing in Samuel Eto'o. They were bringing in Del Piero. They were bringing in. I mean, it was a list. It was
Shame to bring all of those when R9's the best one.
Yeah. But Alex, I'll tell you one we struggled with. We wanted the top 10 most skillful English players of all time. We struggled.
Wow. Kosi, you know what? I'm going to let you go before you come for me because you're going down the line, and we're not going to do that today. But thank you,
Awesome.
Kosi, so much, and enjoy the show
Thank you,
tonight.
man.
We'll see you soon.
It's always a pleasure. Thank you, too.
All right, man. Take it easy.
All right, Kosi of Sporty FM. Remember, check out Sporty FM for the best center backs this evening. All right, so Kosi's obviously... Yeah, okay, get on the show. Get on the show. Get over here. We have him next. Come on. Gary's joining us shortly and he's messing around over there, over at the Sporty FM studios. Okay, we have Brighton and we have Nottingham Forest. Alex, we also have Bournemouth and Manchester City.
We do.
Maybe not so clear-cut, this one.
No, I think it'll be a really tough game. And, of course, the Cherries beating Man City for the first time in their history back in November, that 2-1 win. Looking to do a repeat of that. Man City not been in the best form, as we know, over the last 6 months?
Season? Last season?
No, I think it's been a difficult season for Pep Guardiola and Man City. And I think this is perhaps where they set out their priorities, because the top four should be, and this obviously changes if and when England get that fifth spot confirmed. I think that's already happening, if I'm not mistaken. And I think it will perhaps allow them to put a little bit more focus into the FA Cup, because you finish the season, you win the FA Cup and you finish in the top four or finish in the Champions League spot. Yes, for City, they would have wanted to win the league, but it still can be considered a fairly successful season. Mm-hmm. So they'll be wanting to come into this and get a win and try and go as far as they can in the FA Cup, which seems so weird to say about Man City. But then for Bournemouth, and I don't want to disrespect Bournemouth in any way, but for teams like that who perhaps won't be challenging for Premier League titles, who won't be challenging for, Bournemouth could be in a Champions League spot come the end of the season, but FA Cup for them, to win the FA Cup, to go from 20 odd years ago almost being out of existence, having to raise money in buckets walking around the town, to winning the FA Cup years later, it would be some story for the club, and I think they're going to be putting their eggs in this basket and trying their best to get through. It's going to be a tough one. I'm leaning just towards Bournemouth on this one.
Clinton, Bournemouth, City, you lean in any way? Well, you have to, because it's going to go to penalties one way or another.
Of course. That one is a very tricky one. I don't know which Manchester City we're going to be getting for this one. We pretty much know what kind of Bournemouth we might get. We understand how solid they've been this season in the Premier League. If I want to go by performances so far, right, I easily would have gone for Bournemouth. But like I said, if we are going to have the Manchester City that we know, which we don't know if this is who we are going to get this weekend, fact is, I would easily go for Manchester City. Like, we are never going to compare a Manchester City to a Bournemouth on a good day. Obviously, I'm not speaking about the last couple of games that we've seen with Manchester City in all competitions where they've not really given us that Man City that we used to know. But remember, just like you said, they are coming back from international break, right? And this could literally be some kind of kickstart for something new that we may have never seen before. They might decide to say, let's end the season in a very way better light that people have known us for, if that makes sense. Now, we know the caliber of players in Manchester City. These are all top, high, literally monster players that we should be comparing to the likes of, say, the Real Madrid and, the Barcelona and the rest of them. But we don't know. If we want to go by their previous performances, like Alex has done, I would easily go for Bournemouth. But if we are going to go by a reincarnated, or would I say more like a resurrected Manchester City, I would be going for Manchester City all day. Now, I understand your question. It's a very difficult one for me to make that decision at this point. But let me just go by what I know about Manchester City. I would say Bournemouth.
Okay. And even the fact
Actually,
that...
this is hard, man.
The fact that Manchester City, this is the only piece of title, silverware, that they could win.
Yeah.
And this is a team like Manchester City. Obviously, for Bournemouth, that's an amazing feat as well. But for a team like City, who's dropped so much since just last season alone, and a team that's been competitive for, these 2 decades, is it not a bit that this is all they have left to go for in qualifying for the top 5 in the Prem?
No, absolutely. And this is what I'm hoping that they would see as some kind of motivation to say, right, okay, listen, the Premier League is gone. Champions League is gone.
Carabao Cup.
Carabao Cup is gone. Now, this is literally the one last hope to get something out from this season. Now, sometimes I always believe in one thing. I always feel like if something isn't going well, for somebody who everybody would usually expect that, this should not be happening to you, I always see that situation to literally end really bad. So what am I trying to say here? What I'm trying to say is, if it's been this bad for Manchester City where they've not had anything, I don't think this is the one they are going to grab. And maybe if it's something spiritual, I don't know. Okay? We've said it. Like, there's nothing Manchester City they've not done this season. But it's not working. So what makes us think that this is the time where it's going to work?
I think the argument there is it has to get better at some point.
I know, but that's
just
what I'm
like how
saying.
good teams, like eras, end. Like Manchester City's era has end. Eventually, teams, it's ebbs and woes. It's the constant metronome, basically. Let's, though, now welcome to the show the man who was just on the screen with Kosi, Gary Al Smith. And Gary,
hi.
What do you think?
Oh, you don't say.
Am I doing this? Oh, I did it again.
Wow.
Oh, yes.
Look at that.
Wow.
That's Lega. Lega.
We global, baby.
We global,
baby.
We global.
We global, baby. Another one.
Do you love it, Gary? All right,
no,
brilliant.
We should be getting a couple here.
You have to wear it next time you're on the show, then.
I mean, to be flexing with, where we go for assignments, we should be wearing Getafe with Sporty TV,
It's like
Yeah,
a...
man.
Okay.
Come on, Gary.
Okay, it's all been a long week here at Sporty, but we're doing a lot of things. Gary, we're just talking about the FA Cup. We're talking about Man City and Bournemouth. Right now,
Yeah.
Clinton doesn't know where he's leaning to. Alex just slightly to Bournemouth, but you know, Man City have nothing left to fight for. This is the last piece of silver where they could maybe get. Bournemouth obviously having a brilliant season. How do you see this one playing out?
Well, it depends on which Man City are going to show
Clinton
up.
and you.
Yep, said it.
And I mean, whether they wake up on the right side of the bed, the left side of the bed, and whether they do their pre-match, you know, whether they used to eat spaghetti back in the day and now they eat just cabbage. I have no idea what's going wrong in that dressing room. But I think most of the players have been on international duty for City, right? Not an equal number for Bournemouth have been on international duty. So maybe that may give them an edge, I don't know. But from the tactical point of view, on a normal day, we should trust Pep to handle the business. But Bournemouth have been that good this season. Compact, they know how to play. And we have seen they know how to play their one-off games as well. So I won't be surprised if Bournemouth win this one. I think I heard Alex saying that he was going Bournemouth's way, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I won't be surprised if Bournemouth win. I mean, from all indications, you look at how Bournemouth are shaping up this season. They are lining up tactically and all that. They seem to be able to get a number of some of the big boys. If even they have not won, they still give a good account of themselves. So bottom line, I think City are not going to have it easy.
Well, I guess we'll see. I think I'm also going to be leaning towards Bournemouth. Maybe just for the chaos, too. I think Bournemouth just deserve it a bit more as well with the season that they've had. They've been incredible. And let's see them go the distance. On Sporty TV, though, we do have Fulham taking on Crystal Palace. Scary 33-year-old Raul Jimenez scoring 10 goals in the Premier League. Doesn't seem to be slowing down for Fulham. They're obviously the favourites in this one. And I do believe they could get the win over Crystal Palace.
Well,
When an African starts with well, man, it's not going to
Palace have been, they haven't been really good, have they? Guys, what happened to Glasner? Like, he was supposed to be the new darling boy. When he came,
Well, he
what happened
almost
to
got
him?
sacked after, 10 games did they go? And
Yeah.
they didn't win a game,
Yeah,
and then they pulled themselves out of that slump. And I think, to be honest, when you look at Palace and you look at the players that they have, highlighting one particular midfielder, the Wilton Pirlo, as they're calling him, Adam Wharton, they have a good crop of young players. But when you come into a season and you've lost Michael Olise, it's always going to be hard to reproduce that attacking talent going forward. Jean-Philippe Mateta has been able to reproduce some of that, but of course, since his injury, it's been difficult. But yeah, I think Fulham will definitely be the favourites coming into this one.
When in doubt, Alex will always highlight the best English player on any team. Whether the team is good, whether the team is bad, whether the player is good. He'll just drop a name. He will drop a name and be like, they play for England. Just so you know.
Watch out for Adam Wharton. He's going to be a...
No, but I do notice you do it with every team. Every single team. You're like, English player? All right, we gotta let them know. We gotta let them know.
But Sarah, I can equally say the same to you though when it comes to Barcelona players. I think anywhere Barcelona play, the moment you just hear Barcelona, if the person plays for Barcelona, I think you'll be like...
I think I give more credit to South American players than any of you guys here. So I don't think it's just Barcelona.
I think you do a lot to Barcelona, in my opinion. I mean, my opinion, this is what I think.
It's like how you do it for Nigeria, but I think I give more credit to players that are also from South America, not just one team.
I mean, I think I would do to Nigeria as well as anybody who plays good football. And a few of the times people have hated me for speaking ill against Real Madrid when I see that they are doing rubbish. But like I said, you know, I feel like you and Barcelona, or anything that's going to do with Barcelona, Sarah, you need to watch yourself. Like, you know, just come out and then see yourself speaking about Barcelona players or Barcelona.
Well, somebody has to, because you know, are wearing your Real Madrid goggles. So.
Well, I'm just letting you know that you are Alex in the club side.
So, Gary, you think, Clinton, you think this one's also going to be Fulham as well?
I think this one is going to be Fulham.
think we're all in agreement. It has been a long week, guys. I'm so sorry. I think Fulham has this one. And the last one, I think even more one-sided, unfortunately for Preston, who has made the run to the quarterfinals, but they are taking on an Aston Villa. Now Aston Villa are also trying to fight for a spot in the top 5, Gary. They're also still in the Champions League, taking on PSG. Not going to be easy whatsoever. Does that give Preston any sort of freedom to say, listen, the pressure's not on us. You got a couple things on your mind here, and we've made it this far. Maybe we can do it?
No, I think, no.
No.
Probably I think Aston Villa look at the FA Cup as the most realistic trophy to win, of the lot. So if I were Aston Villa, I'm not going to let up at all. I'm going to put quite a bit of effort into this one because, this takes you to the semi-final, isn't it? And which means that we are just one step away. Champions League, yeah, but on a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being the easiest, 10 being the hardest, I think they would agree with me if I said that playing in the FA Cup at this stage is a lot more easier than playing to win the Champions League at the moment. And then the Premier League also, they're in the hands for top 4 places. I think it will be FA Cup, Champions League, and Premier League. FA Cup, Premier League, top 4, Champions League, sorry.
Okay, so the FA Cup is the one they have their eyes on the most.
Yeah, I think that's what I would do if I were in their shoes.
Okay, so we have... Go.
No, I was going to say, and also given the top 4 race and how Villa, yes, they could still very much make that top 4, top 5. If they win the FA Cup, they get that spot in the Europa League. Yes, it's not the Champions League, but it's that spot in European football next season, which gives them then the chance to go on and win more silverware and possibly qualify for the Champions League. And I think, like Gary said, they want to end this season. If they end this season outside the top 4 or 5, knocked out by PSG in the Champions League, just being hypothetical, and they don't win the FA Cup, I think they'll be really disappointed with the position that they were in and what they could have achieved.
Mm-hmm. Gary, did you say that you were also going for Brighton to win the... All right, so it was you and I and Clinton confirming Brighton to win the FA Cup?
Yeah.
And Alex has gone for Aston Villa?
Yeah.
Okay, so it could all change by Monday.
Yep.
It could, because I do think Brighton-Nottingham Forest is maybe the stickiest one in this one. Gary, let me ask you quickly about that because we were speaking to Kosi and then you came on. But Brighton is playing Nottingham Forest and this one is going to be extremely tough for both sides. How do you see the Seagulls edging past a Nottingham Forest right now?
At the moment, all things considered, I'm a bit of a Nottingham Forest fan. Aren't we all? And I think that they are a bit more informed, a bit more organized. They have a bit more grit to them than Brighton this season. And so I'd go for them. I don't think that the top 4 fight, the top 4 race, the top 4 scuffle for Nottingham Forest is taking anything away from them in terms of too many games or something like that. I think they're on a roll, and I think they are really happy. And I think that, they'll be taking this game as seriously as Brighton, but they have more in the tank than I think the Seagulls do.
All right. Well, let's hope for a Seagulls win here. I'm hoping just for our story here, and I guess they could play Aston Villa in the final.
Yeah.
Actually, what a good final that would be.
That'd be lovely.
That'd be great.
Although part of me would love to see Preston North End in the final of the FA Cup. Just the minnows, the underdogs. I know I've gone for Aston Villa as my pick, but how special would that be, Preston North End in the FA Cup final?
Sorry, Preston and who?
Preston North End.
Oh, sorry, I thought you were saying 2 teams. Preston against who, though?
No, I'm just saying it would be nice to see them in the FA Cup final, no matter who it's against.
So then Villa are out.
I think Villa will win it, but I'm saying it would be nice to see Preston in the final.
Of course. All right. Okay, Gary, well, we just wanted to bring you on for a little FA Cup action. Are you on Sporty FM this evening with Kosi?
Probably. If he's
you guys going to talk about some center backs, I hear?
Yes, we are going to do that today.
All right, well, enjoy it. Thank you, as always, for coming on. I'm sure we'll have you back on soon, and enjoy your weekend.
Salud. We have a long weekend. Monday and Tuesday are holidays here, so it's a 4-day weekend here.
Gary's already booking his time off from the shows on Monday and Tuesday. He's like, guys, don't call me. Don't call me. I'm not going to be available. All right, we'll see what you're doing. All
And
right.
also Arsenal aren't playing, so there's no stress. Completely relax.
Nice. All right, well, enjoy the long weekend then, Gary.
Sure. See you soon.
Bye. All right, guys. Serie A action as well, and we have a big one on Sporty TV. Like I mentioned, it's Napoli taking on Milan. Let's look into this. Well, who better than to join us than our local Rossoneri fan, Lucrezia?
Hi, Sarah. Thanks for having me. It's nice to be here. Quite different from when we talked yesterday.
Yes,
You know?
yeah.
I was there in my room by myself in the little social media setup, but it's nice to be here.
Perfect. Well, we're happy to have you. Big match this weekend for
Yes.
your team. Are you feeling nervous?
I am. I'm not feeling confident at all. As we know, Napoli's doing good. They're second in the league. AC Milan, not so good. They're 9th now. And I don't really think they have a chance against Napoli. We've seen how not consistent AC Milan is. There's talent in the team, but they seem to not, I don't know, be able to find a solution, to their problems.
I mean, even with all the players that they have, Alex, this team somehow is sitting 8th in the Serie A. It seems almost unfathomable when you see the likes of Christian Pulisic having the season of his lifetime, Tijani Reiners, Rafael Leao is there, Mike Maignan, one of the best keepers in the world. And it's all just crumbled.
It's been a weird one. I think you look as well at the Champions League this season. They've had some strange losses. I think back to Dinamo Zagreb and beating Real Madrid, and just the polar opposite of performances. It's that I think has been the key for AC Milan this season in terms of not picking up a good run of form, is that consistency. They just haven't been able to string a number of results together. They had a good result against Como, who Cesc Fabregas has been doing a really good job with, and then they go and lose 3 on the bounce, not too recently. And I think it's always going to be difficult when you're chopping and changing managers throughout the middle of the season. I always thought that perhaps the Paulo Fonseca appointment was, I don't want to say unambitious, but perhaps the wrong decision. And I think it's going to take a while. They have the talent, like you said. They have so many good young players. They have a core of experienced players as well, players that are used to playing together and playing in the Serie A. And it's a difficult one. I really just can't. I can't point the problem out for AC Milan. They're going to have to sort something out, whatever that may be, in the summer.
Is it a managerial problem, Lucrezia?
I have no idea. I don't know, because we have seen they've been doing bad with 3 different managers at this point. Like, with Pioli, up till last season, we were still not doing great. Then they have Fonseca, now they have Conceição, and it's still not working out. So I'm not too sure what the problem is, right? Like, honestly, it's very hard.
Yeah. Is it Zlatan Ibrahimovic?
We don't know. I don't know if he has done a lot for the team, but again, I don't know what he can done as well as an individual.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Alex, we spoke about Napoli yesterday. Obviously, Osimhen left this team, Kvicha left this team, and they're still performing at such a high level. Romelu Lukaku, unstoppable still. Scott McTominay slid into this team like it was, nothing. And they're making a fight for that title. They're, trying to take Inter down. Inter obviously taking on Udinese this weekend. Not an easy game, the Alexis Sanchez derby, if you will. But
it's, like we were mentioning in every league, every game matters now. So, I mean, everyone's going to have an eye on what everyone's doing, but the point is to win all of your games and hope that that's enough.
Yeah, and when Napoli have dropped off themselves a little bit recently, they've only won 1 of the last 7. It's that form coming into the last couple of months of the season. You have that blip in the middle of the season, but you have to pick yourselves up back again. Antonio Conte is an experienced manager. I said this the other day, brilliant job at Chelsea winning the league, and he's had his experience across many high-level jobs, and it's been, I think, just a case of, unfortunately, Inter Milan are in the same league. Inter Milan, when they're playing so well, they're hard to beat. Simone Inzaghi is doing a brilliant job there and has done for quite a while now, and it's going to be an exciting title race. You could even see Atalanta sneak. Now, I don't think they will, but it's nice to see it going open towards the end of the season.
All right. Well, lastly, Clinton, we have Atalanta in action against Fiorentina. Now, Fiorentina have been one of the stories in the Serie A on the up and up. Moise Kean been absolutely brilliant for them, but you always back your boy no matter what. And actually, was there news today?
There was.
For
Gasperini
Atalanta,
announced that he wasn't going to be renewing his contract.
Thoughts, Clinton?
I mean, we understand how far he's taking the club, Atalanta. I can't say he's done a really bad job, but just that one behaviour to my homeboy, Ademola Lookman. In fact, I'm really happy. I wanted, and literally, and I'll tell you for free. Wait. I just made the statement. I remember after the announcement I was leaving, I saw somebody saying, "I'm not going to hear for free anymore."
For free. I'll tell you for free. I'll tell you for free.
I mean, but this is what I do for love, though. I don't like charging for anything I say. All this kind of beautiful and really important information, I give it to you for free. Now, listen. I literally was hoping that either Ademola Lookman was going to leave the club, or the coach would leave the club, because that one behaviour I would never forget, especially for somebody who sacrificed everything for his club. He's literally been the man who's carried Atalanta to where I believe he's been. He's brought, just that individual. Apart from the individual and the collective work that they've done for the team, you could see how much Ademola Lookman has amplified the name Atalanta, right? And, in all honesty, I'm going to still give credit to the coach. He's done an amazing job. He's brought out the best from the Ademola Lookman, but, I don't know if he's apologized for that one behavior that he exercised towards the young man. And if he's not done that, I would hope that he does, because if he goes to any other club, listen, I'm sure that one behavior is going to haunt him. I'm still very pissed. I'm still very angry for that one thing. We saw Cristiano Ronaldo missing a penalty the other day. Yes, they will say he did score eventually. And then Lookman did score, but nobody came for his neck. With him putting up. I know this is not the conversation, but it's still hurting me to this point in time.
Yeah.
The rumour is, sorry to just jump in, you talked about Gasperini and a new club. The rumours now are pointing that he's going to be taking over from Claudio Ranieri at Roma in the summer.
Saw that.
Would, like you said, Clinton, the job that he's done at Atalanta, winning the Europa League, beating one of the best teams in the world in Bayer Leverkusen last season, not just beating them, but convincingly beating them.
With Ademola Lookman, by the way.
They had a little bit of a cheat code there, yes.
Yeah,
but
well, thank you.
To see, obviously, I think we have to give credit to Claudio Ranieri and the job that he's done at Roma, coming back from retirement. It's the romantic in all of us that loves to see him doing so well. But if he is going to Roma have found themselves a really good manager there.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen Roma dip anyways. They're falling 7th now in the Serie A, and it's not been a great season with the players that they have. They should be doing better, so they do also need maybe some rejuvenation as well. And, I mean, not a bad manager, Gasperini, to come in after what he's done with Atalanta. Lucrezia, do you see somebody coming in for Gasperini? Is there anyone that just clicks right now that you think of with Atalanta?
What do we have? We have Allegri that is now...
Oh, goodness gracious.
He doesn't have a team, though, so he's the first one I can think about.
Thiago Motta?
Thiago Motta, him too. I feel like he would work well. It would work well, like young team,
Tell Lookman to leave now.
I mean, I would love to see Lookman come back to the Premier League, though.
You think he will?
I mean...
Where would you like to see him?
Definitely not Manchester United, sorry.
Chelsea?
Not Chelsea.
Arsenal,
maybe.
He could redeem himself a little bit.
Not redeem himself. I think
with the story that he has with Premier League.
Yeah, but in my opinion, I don't think an Ademola Lookman right now needs any kind of redeeming story. He was just in Premier League, and during that point, he was just a player that's growing. And
maybe that's the one thing that you talk about not needing to redeem himself. Yes, there will be people that doubt him for can he do it in the Premier League, the best league in the world. But for him as well, I know you asked him about it when you spoke to him. I don't think he said he wasn't too bothered about it. But I can imagine there's some little part of him deep down that would love to go back to the Premier League.
No, he knows. He knows at some point he would have to go back. You know, obviously these players, when you ask him these questions, they want to sound just like you, Alex. They want to be very political. You see, one of those, well, you never know.
Yeah.
If, you know,
That's
in
what
the
he has
future,
to say.
Yeah.
We'll concentrate on the now.
Yeah, thank you.
Let's not think about the future. Blah, blah.
You know, right now I'm just focusing on my next game and blah blah blah. You know, all them
And the team might meme right now.
Yeah,
I love it.
yeah. Well, exactly. Yeah,
Okay,
you know,
of course
my coach is an amazing coach. Yes, your coach did say you are a rubbish penalty taker, but you know, it's one of those things. But fact is, I would love to see him play in the Premier League. Definitely not Manchester United, not Chelsea. But maybe, like I said, maybe an Arsenal. I would probably love to see him in some kind of Aston Villa. Like, you know, these are clubs I believe he might have that ability to show us this guy that he is in Atalanta currently.
Liverpool?
Liverpool,
Well,
actually.
Luis Diaz is on his way out. The rumor is.
Yeah. And you know one thing though, and this is my personal opinion. Diaz, I don't know if it's just me. I think he's dropped form, you know.
I think
Diaz isn't the Diaz I used to know.
I can't remember, but Diaz, I want to say Salah and Darwin Núñez have scored about, I think, 2 between them in a frame of games. I can't remember how many, but the form dip recently between the three of them has been, I think it was Jota instead of Salah, but the form dip between those 3 front men for Liverpool has been unbelievable.
For me, actually, I would say it started with Diaz, right? Like, literally, the way I saw Luis Diaz.
No, Brahim Diaz.
The start of the season.
Sorry?
The start of the season to now.
Yeah.
He was on form to be one of the best players.
Thank you.
No, because I had him, I remember, as my something, one of the players to watch in either the Champions League or the Premier League, because I thought, and the first 3 months I was like,
Funny enough, I think we were also having a conversation here, and we were talking about the best left wingers, you know, in the Premier League. And I remember we were not saying that he was part of the best, but I think his name kept on coming in that conversation, right? To say he's literally one of the guys to look out for. And anytime I've seen Brahim Diaz come on the pitch, listen, I forget about
Luis Diaz.
Luis Diaz.
All right.
Jesus.
We know where your head's at.
I don't know why they call themselves Diaz, and all of that
Okay.
stuff.
Well, that's their surnames.
Yeah, but that's their business. They should change it, man.
Oh, my goodness.
But listen, every time I've seen this guy come on the pitch, I forget that there's a Mo Salah on there. Let me tell you one truth. Mo Salah is fantastic.
For free?
For free, yes. Let me tell you one truth for free. But see, Mo Salah, and I'm going to say this, and I'm not going to hide. I'm not going to be ashamed to say what I want to say. Because he's African. No. Let me tell you, I don't enjoy watching Mo Salah type of game. In my opinion, he might score all the goals. He might take on defenders. He might do, but for me, I don't get that excitement. I only just know somebody who's fast, somebody who runs. But when I see Luis Diaz, there's just something about, I don't know if I would say it's an aura. I don't know what it is. Now, I'm not saying that he still has it. Everything is gone. Everything is dipped. I don't know. There's just something that's just not working for. And they are so lucky with Liverpool that they were able to take every single opportunity, win most of the games they needed to win, and it's almost like they've locked down the Premier League. If they had not won most of the games, and let's say they were Liverpool were just like the La Liga, where all of these teams are, you know, just one
Right behind
point
each
or
other,
yeah.
sure.
I will tell you that Liverpool, for free, they're not winning the Premier League. But like I said, they've pretty much done the job that they need to do.
Ah, right on cue. I saw that shady cameraman. Let's go to Chantal. They did you dirty, Chantal. They
Clinton,
did
I
you
will
dirty.
tell you this for free. Liverpool is winning the Premier League. Leave Luis Diaz alone. Not too much on Lucho. And what do you mean Mo Salah isn't exciting to watch? You know what? Let me go back to the social media comments. But that was just for free. Now, Martin Day says Osasuna is a difficult side for Barcelona, so throwing it back to La Liga. They sit deep and go on quick counters with a potent finisher, but he still thinks Barcelona can win. He also says Manchester City will not recover until there is a new Ballon d'Or winner. And TJ says that you all have preferential treatment towards your countrymen and clubs, so it's normal on the show. That was the back and forth going on between Sara and Clinton. And there's a jab at Clinton. Ibide says, Clinton, brother, you be like a JSS1 student for Alex side. See how he hold you, even rub your head in the video? Alex is your senior, oh.
No, listen. Sorry, Chantel, just before you continue. You know, this was, when we were shooting that video, I was literally going to suggest, and this would never happen again. If there's any video I'm shooting with Alex, I'm standing next to Alex. If I'm not standing on the stool, we're not shooting that video.
No, then we have to take a photo.
No, because you're not seeing any photo of the stool. Like this,
I think that's worse.
You know the funny thing? You know the funny thing? Maybe I should have gone to the director and the camera to say, let me see that clip first before you confirm that this is where it's going. Because truth is, Alex is just stupidly tall.
There's a journalist.
Clinton, they're calling you short stuff in the comments.
Short stuff.
Yeah, I mean, since you're on social media, can you block that person from our YouTube?
Maybe you should leave the show.
No.
There is a journalist here in Madrid. Her name's Tati Mantovani, and she...
The Brazilian.
Yeah,
no?
every time she interviews a player, she goes on a stool because she's tiny as well.
Yeah.
You should.
She goes on a stool. No, but you see, there's a difference between she's tiny. I'm not tiny. I'm 5'9". For Christ's sake. Alex is what? I don't know.
Yeah.
Even Alex is taller than how many goalkeepers in literally world football? Come on, man. Like, it's not my fault. They keep making me stand next to him.
Are you 5'9"?
I am 5'9". Soloff. No, listen. Soloff, he's not a short guy. Soloff is literally a tall guy. But you make him look like he's a short guy, right? Now imagine me who's not as tall as Soloff. What would you expect? So you see, it's not. They just need to stop making me stand next to Alex, especially when we're shooting something that's gonna go, that big.
You sure you don't want to do it one last time? Just
I'll punch you on this show.
You could carry the little foldable stool with you. Bring it, just in case if you need it.
No, not in case. If I'm standing next to Alex, I'll definitely need it. Because this cannot continue, man. No, because I'm watching. I'm watching the partnership. I'm watching the partnership, the Leganes and Sporty TV, right? I feel like I don't want to put out my social media, man. Because it's almost like I'm embarrassing myself. It's not nice.
That's a little too much.
I know it's too much, but come on, man. Do you know how many people have been trying to chat up on social media? Do you know how many people have told I'm 6 foot? Right, let's continue on the show.
Well, let's not lie.
But I'm 5'9" at least.
At least.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll leave that one out for the jury. I'm not too sure.
and Sarah was wearing a heel, making it feel like she's...
Once again.
Let's continue.
She was not.
No, I mean, I know what you guys do on this show.
Short stuff.
I know what you guys do on this show. Wow.
I felt it go through.
Okay.
Oh my goodness.
Sarah,
okay.
Sarah, at least you are a witness. Alex, you're a witness, right? When Clinton starts.
Yeah, that was a violation.
If anybody. Okay.
Okay. All right. Also, let Chantal know where you guys think Ademola Lookman should go if he decides to leave Atalanta. And next time we check in with her, we can see what you guys say. All right, let's move along. Bundesliga also in action, and there's a massive match on Sporty TV, and it's Stuttgart taking on Frankfurt. All right, so Stuttgart taking on Eintracht Frankfurt this weekend in the Bundesliga. Pardon me, I'm getting too excited as the Bundesliga is back in action, so make sure you stay tuned for that. Markinde says Clinton is a brief man. Synonyms: short, brief.
Oh.
Sorry, Chantal, just did your job really quick because we do have to move along.
I wouldn't have that if I were you, Clinton.
This show is taking a turn today. It started off like there's just a lot of shots being taken right now. Thought you guys were happy he was back.
Yeah, so we can do this.
Yeah, fair enough.
Oh la la. Okay.
All right, guys, we're gonna do something a little fun here because as the season is concluding slowly, our producer Ben, not us, not anyone here, decided to make a best 11 of the players that have been performing so far this season. I just want to confirm that it's not us that did this, and we are going to take a look at our producer Ben's 11. This is the first time Clinton and I are seeing it. Alex took a peek earlier, but...
Why's Ola Aina on the left back? I mean, you see, this is why we...
It's Eric Chell was deciding this team.
This is honestly because I don't know which.
Haki!
I don't know which balance you take.
I don't know where you guys want to start here. Also, okay, for all of those that are watching as well, let Chantal know the biggest standouts, who needs to be in it and who needs to get out.
Why is Isaac crossed out?
Yeah, it's a bit... Oh, right. Sorry, our producer Ben is a Sunderland fan, so even though Alexander Isak is actually the champion of the Carabao Cup, lest we forget, the best striker in the Premier League, lest we forget. And so a little Sunderland fan over there had to, take it out on someone. That's all right. So start in the back and we'll go up, shall we?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. Allison in the back. You know what? It's between him and Courtois, right? So I think I understand what he's doing, but I'm also happy to put Courtois there.
I'm definitely taking Courtois.
Yeah.
Okay,
I think
fine.
Courtois as well.
At least one of them is still in Champions League.
Okay.
It's that simple.
Okay, so we're on the first player, and they're already tossed. We're going to start with Hakimi because there's absolutely no way. There's no way that for me, I think Jules Koundé has been playing for every game for Barcelona. I'm just going through on the other. Give me 1 second. Let me go through some right
Who else
backs.
could you have at right back? I mean, in the Premier League, there's not been an
That's what I'm thinking.
outstanding.
Real Madrid, you've
Dani
got
Carvajal
Fede
been
and
injured, but-
Fede and Lucas Vasquez. It's not gonna. They're all over the place here.
be
And
honest,
so, Fede's in. So
I
that's fine.
think Jules Koundé
Jules Koundé is the
should
shot.
be at the right position.
Are you happy with that, Clinton?
Maybe Frimpong.
Yeah, I mean, to an extent.
Not
On a
with
good
the
Is
Bayer
there any
Leverkusen.
other potential? But I think Jules Koundé.
I think just consistency.
On a good
You
day-
guys played the most football in 2024.
Listen, on a good day, if not for the team that this person I'm going to mention plays for all day, I would have probably even maybe not over Koundé, but I still feel like his name would have been mentioned there. And it's our former Manchester United right back, Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Yeah, I still love him either way, no matter what happens.
An
I think
honourable
he's-
mention.
Yeah.
Fair
100%.
enough.
You know, he's somebody whom I believe, I don't understand why he left Manchester United. And which I know, Manchester United, what they do is, they always get rid of what they need. And they try to be consistent with what they do not need. So, Bissaka is some kind of mention in the background.
Fair enough. I like that. Okay, so Koundé in for Hakimi.
Now, we're also forgetting,
Don't worry.
we're also forgetting that in as much as our producer Ben was drunk when he was doing this, Ola Aina, if he was put in the right position,
who are
he
you
should
taking?
have been mentioned there.
Him or Koundé? Ola Aina or Koundé?
Koundé.
But hang on, do you know what the crazy thing is?
League still?
No, but do you know what the
Long
crazy
day
thing is,
for
though?
you.
No, but for me, do you know the reason why I would have literally, and this is not because I'm Nigerian, I probably would have gone for Ola Aina, it's because of, how he's been able to take that project so seriously. I'm talking about the project of taking a Nottingham, a relegation zone, Nottingham Forest, to a Champions League fighter in terms of, playing for next season. Literally, he's part of the persons that have taken that team there. And in my opinion, of course, we can't put him over just Koundé. Koundé is arguably, yes, the best right back. But I still think that if we want to really go deep into the both of them, I don't know, man. Okay.
It's a tough one.
It's a
I'm
tough
happy
one, man.
with
I
Koundé,
think-
but just.
Yeah, I am happy with Koundé as well. But Ola Aina, man, he's there, man. He's there.
Okay, so we have a center back pairing here of Gabriel from Arsenal and Clement Lenglet from Atletico Madrid. Virgil van Dijk?
Danny Vivian, Athletic Club.
I'm not going for Virgil van Dijk, funny enough.
Okay, so
I think I would even rather go for
Saliba?
Saliba, yes.
Milankovic at Nottingham Forest. Murillo.
Murillo's a good shout.
I think Lenglet has been exceptional for Atletico Madrid this season.
I think he's been exceptional for them in the last few months. I don't think it started off like this because they were also relying on Lenormand and then he got injured. I think it's of late more, and maybe that's a recency bias.
Saliba.
That's what Clinton's saying. Oh, it's tricky, you know.
To be honest, I do think I'm going to fight for Clement Lenglet here. I think he's been fantastic when he's been called upon. He's been arguably on form, one of the best centre-backs in the world in the last couple of months.
Oh, I'm sorry. Falco Barsi. Are you kidding me? No, are you kidding me? Have you seen the vision this guy has on top of being one of the best defenders in the world?
But Atleti have the best defence in the league.
But we're talking about one player.
But it's still a key. He's arguably one of the most key players in that centre back.
If you were okay, I don't know. I think it's if you're asking me to build a team. If I have to pick, let's say between the two, put Saliba and Gabriel and those guys aside. Who am I taking over Pau Cubarsí and Lenglet? It's Pau Cubarsí. And I'm not saying it also just because I watch him week in and week out. But this is going to be one of the best defenders in football for the next 20 years, pending he doesn't get injured. This kid is incredible. I don't know. For me, I understand. I love the shout for Lenglet because I think Atleti deserves some love. They've had it rough the last couple of weeks, but they've been really brilliant this season. But I don't know. Sorry, can I circle back? Why aren't you putting Virgil van Dijk in there?
I didn't put him.
Why? I'm asking.
Well, because I felt like they were. In fact, I think I just go flashback.
Oh.
To the Champions League.
So the one game has just.
It wasn't just the one game. It was the two legs. Yes, he did. They didn't concede, but I felt like the whole team as a whole they were rubbish. Pretty much on.
But it's not just those two games. It's all season. We're basing it on the whole season. The season isn't over yet, but we're looking at September until now. I think, to be honest, I also think Virgil van Dijk deserves to be in.
Does Konate as well deserve?
I think Konate. If it wasn't for Konate's injury, maybe. But Konate had picked up an injury, and in the last month and a half or so has been a bit off. But I think it's a bit unfair.
But if we want to go by that, though, so why are we not mentioning Asensio? Sorry. Why are we not mentioning the Real Madrid young
Asensio?
Yeah, Asensio. Yeah.
You can mention Asensio.
Danny Vivian as well.
Because in my opinion,
but you can mention him if you want.
He's been solid as hell for Real Madrid.
But then you can mention him. That's fine. But I just don't think that. Because of the situation that's happened at Liverpool over the last 2 weeks, you can't say that Virgil van Dijk.
He's been fantastic, and him and Ibrahim Konate are arguably the best centre-back pairing in the world at the moment, alongside Gabriel and Saliba potentially.
When you're talking about pair, I don't think there's any two pairs that are better than these two pairs that you've just mentioned. But we are speaking about them individually.
No, but I'm saying it takes two to make a pair. You can't have a good pair without. You have to have both of them performing to the top of their game.
No, of course, I know what you mean. But what I'm saying is, because we are looking at individual players here, not pairs.
I'm not saying, yeah.
Yeah. Are we going that deep to say, okay, let's imagine that these two pairs were not playing at the same time. Are they going to be equally as good when they are playing by themselves? Let's say, for example, Gabriel, or let's say Van Dijk is literally good, whether he's just by himself or he's having a pair with Konate or whatever. But what I'm saying is, if you have just Gabriel and you have some random guy there, would you have the same Gabriel that we are speaking about today?
I think not the same, but I think you would have a really really good Gabriel. I think on his own, we were talking about this the other day when Brazil lost to Argentina. I think if you put Gabriel in that defence, Brazil improved no end.
Yeah.
I think he's been fantastic this season for Arsenal, and Saliba does, I think, help him a lot, and they work off each other really well, and they have that perfect duo in terms of the heading prowess that they have, the defensive ability they have. I think it's a tough one, that one.
Guys, I am going to press us for time here because we got about 5 minutes to do this whole thing. So, okay, are we keeping Gabriel?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, let's keep Gabriel.
Okay, let's keep Gabriel. Okay, Virgil van Dijk for Lenglet?
Yeah, I feel so too, yeah.
I think it's only fair. All right, now you have Olaina and Clinton. You're not happy with this because he's playing out of position.
Yeah.
So we're talking about right backs here. We have players like Alphonso Davies, Alejandro Balde for sure has been great this season. Grimaldo.
Anthony Robinson at Fulham, 10 assists. Only Salah's got more than him. Max Milstedt in the Bundesliga for Stuttgart. Sergi Cardona at Villarreal, 7 assists. Some really good left backs. I think it depends if you go for
Actually, they're for me, it's between two. I I think Balde's been great, but I think Nuno Mendes, PSG.
Yeah.
He's been great.
That's a good shout, actually.
I think it's a shout. Do what you want with the shout, but it's a shout. I think he's been good.
Who do we settle on there?
This is
That's the thing, because that's the whole point of doing the best 11, because we're just going and...
Anthony Robinson at Fulham. I think he deserves a shout in there. Fulham
Let's not
season.
Let's not talk about people who deserve a shout. Let's talk about who stays there.
I wouldn't put Anthony Robinson there over Nuno Mendes or Alejandro Balde. We're talking about the best this season. He's been great, but I'm sorry, he's not the best. If you are making a team...
Let's go Nuno Mendes.
Okay.
And just let's lock that one in. Let's go forward.
All right. Let's move along here. Okay, let's try and tackle the midfield all at once because we really have to move here.
Valverde stays.
And so does Pedri.
Okay, I mean...
Pedri's the best midfielder in the world. So
I don't think so.
You don't watch football.
Yeah, I mean, I do watch football, I don't think.
What Pedri... Okay, I'm not getting into it.
Yeah.
I do love the shout for Tejani Reinders because I think he's the only... Not the only, but one of the only things AC Milan have, and he's constantly performing even when they're not. I think it's difficult because there's so many. I feel bad.
Gravenberch, Kimmich, Xhaka at Bayer Leverkusen. Bruno Fernandes at Manchester United.
I would have him. Facts. I understand that Manchester... I was going to mention Jude Bellingham, actually. But, yeah. In my opinion,
I think the only one we're taking out is Reinders, and the real options, I think Gravenberch is definitely within a shout.
Yeah.
Could make that team.
I'm not putting it in there.
It depends if you're going for an attacking Cole Palmer. Jamal Musiala has been fantastic for Bayern Munich this season.
I'm
Florian Wirtz, of course,
going,
not injured.
I'm going with Jude Bellingham. Sorry. Yeah, I don't know what you guys are going
Jude Bellingham?
for. Yeah,
I'm happy with that.
Alex is going to say yes. I wouldn't put him in. Can we bring it back, please? Well, I don't want it behind Clinton. All right, let's get through these forwards. Salah, Mbappe, and Rafinha with a big no, Isaac.
I mean, there's a few names. To be honest, I think if I was taking... I think Rafinha and Salah have to be in there because they're in the conversation for the Ballon d'Or. You can't replace those two. But there are some names up top that you could say. I think Isaac could potentially be in there instead of Mbappe. Chris Wood at Nottingham Forest. Harry Kane has been fantastic.
That's true.
Lamine Yamal, you could even put him in there. I know he's not an out-and-out striker. Lewandowski.
Well, let's put players in position.
We're not mentioning Lamine Yamal in striking, man. Jesus
no, let's play players in position because Ola, you know how to do that. No,
Chris Wood, Lewandowski, Isaac, Harry Kane.
Oh, this one is actually... I mean, we always know when it comes to striking.
Martinez at Inter Milan.
It's always... No, I'm not going to bring him in there. I mean, we are speaking... See, in my opinion, Isaac, Mbappe, Harry Kane. These are the three we should be talking about here.
To be honest, I think Harry Kane should be in there.
No, Harry Kane, he is. Like, he is scoring goals.
Okay, out of those three, he said Harry Kane. Mbappe, Isaac, Harry Kane, who are you picking out of those three for the top?
I'm having Mbappe. I'm sorry.
I'm taking Mbappe over Harry Kane. I'm sorry. If I'm building a team, if I'm also building a team, I'm taking Lamine Yamal over Salah, but that's fine.
I know you have to just slip that one in somehow.
No, because like,
but it's true though. I agree. No. In my opinion, let me actually see. If you let me choose, I'm taking out Salah. I'm putting Lamine Yamal there. In my opinion, I'm sorry. This is me.
I know we have no time, but manager. Who are we going for? Hansi Flick.
Hansi Flick's done a lot with Barca. It depends what Ancelotti can do.
Actually, no. Well, it's Arne Slot, isn't it? I mean, he's running away with the league for Liverpool. Yes, I know they got knocked out of the Champions.
What are you talking about? Real Madrid and Barca still are on track to win a treble.
No, but Arne Slot in his first season at Liverpool.
Yeah, sorry. Nuno Espirito Santo is such a shout too. For me, what Forest have done is because we talked about this on the show before. Arne Slot had a foundation built. Nottingham Forest nearly got relegated last season. Nuno Espirito Santo came in, and this team is now going to be in the top four, likely.
Andoni Iraola at Bournemouth.
Love it, but Forest are doing that.
I still think Nottingham Forest manager.
All right, so Nuno's manager. All right, so we're going Nuno Espirito Santo as it stands. We're going to go through this really quickly. So we have Thibaut Courtois, Jules Koundé, Gabriel Van Dijk, and Nuno Mendes, Valverde, Bellingham, and Pedri with Rafinha, Mbappe, and Salah.
But you know what the crazy thing is, though? Do you know how crazy it is to play football and when they are making the best 11 in football? your name gets in there. It's a very big honor, you know.
All right. Well, let's move along, guys. That was fun. Thank you, Ben. But
yeah, don't do that all
that
stuff again.
Yeah, don't do it again, Ben.
all right. Before we go to our booking codes, let's go to Chantal and get some reactions of who should have been in or who the heck should not have been in.
Well, Derek Thompson says, wait, hold on. Markinde, sorry, says, Courtesy is unbelievable. 18 and at the center back for Barca is huge. TJ says Alisson doesn't really need to be there. Dom says Alisson haven't conceded 5 goals this season, but Courtois have. And just to sneak this one in there, Emma says Clinton took free hug from Sara yesterday for no reason.
I just see Mark and Day saying coach will be Eric Chell because he's unbeaten in World Cup qualifiers as well.
Y'all are shady, shady, shady little guys. All right, thank you, Chantal.
And you know what, funny thing, I haven't saw a comment as well. People were saying, wow, so it's only the women that deserves to be hugged. Were they expecting to come hug your big body after disgracing me in a video shoot? Get out of here.
All right, well, let's go to our booking codes because we want to make some money this weekend, and so do you. So let's start with mine, as Barcelona are playing tonight. So I'm giving you guys a booking code for that one, and then one for tomorrow as well. Barcelona, Osasuna this evening, and let's bring up the code and see what I've gone for here.
Somebody just literally said, okay, maybe Chantal will come back to that one eventually.
What?
No, it's literally saying we're sleeping on Fulham Mendy. Bro, I am awake on him and he's not getting in there.
Wait, sorry, Ferland Mendy and then Barcelona. Lost your whole mind. Lost your whole mind. That's a position that Madrid need to work on anyways. All right, here we go. So I've gone for Barcelona to win over 2.5 goals. Lewandowski to be a goal scorer. Lamine Yamal to assist. And, oh, I can't read anymore, so I think that's all I've gone for.
You got yes, both.
Yeah, Lamine Yamal.
Thank you.
One plus player.
There you go.
Oh, yes, both teams to score.
Yes, both teams to score.
Oh, yeah.
All right, there you go, guys. Because I do think Osasuna will give Barcelona a bit of a hard time. But with the likes of no Rafinha, Lewandowski's got to step up tonight. And who else is going to assist? It's got to be Lamine Yamal. A little bit of a stretch here. I tried to look for some exciting features, but Barcelona are heavily favored in that one. So that's 7.40. All right, Alex, what do you got going on?
I've got, well, one that will be coming out later on this week for the weekend games we have on Sporty TV, but I've also got one for the basketball tonight. We've got Bayern Munich against Partizan Mozart. I've gone for a Bayern Munich win in this one, and then I've gone for Shabazz Napier to get over 11 points in this game. Bayern Munich to score more than 85.5 points. And finally, I've gone for Bayern Munich to be winning at the end of the first half and at the end of the game. So they have to be winning at halftime and at the end for that to come through.
All right, well, that's for the game that's coming up right after today's show. So if you guys want to go lock that in, that's the first one coming up, and then Barcelona, Osasuna. KlintonCod, I heard something crazy. I heard you have a booking code, and it's for all the games this weekend.
Absolutely.
Let's go. Give it to me. What do we have?
I'm just going to wait for it to come on the screen because I want to make sure we are not missing.
Ooh la la. All right, so you've gone
This one, first of all, that's in 9 odds. Literally, that is a lot. Okay.
Can I jump in there, actually? My odds for my weekend games this weekend, my bet builder, or my accumulator, odds of 13.
I think my one for
4 games.
4 games? Were you just putting draws?
No.
Okay.
I made some picks.
Okay.
Stay tuned to our social media.
Wait till you see my Milan and Napoli, because I think it's even more than that.
Now, I don't know, for some reason, I so feel like this booking code is going to be a boom. This is something, I don't know if I hear it so loud and clear. Well, I've gone with the Barcelona home win.
Tonight against Osasuna. Oh, so they need to also lock this in.
No, this is for Girona.
Oh, sorry. Okay, so you have a little bit of time.
Yeah. And then I've gone for Fulham, both team to score. I see that one happening for some reason. Very, very sure of it. And I've also gone for over 2.5 in the Real Madrid versus Leganes. Okay, so when I was speaking about these goals from Leganes, at least for us to celebrate our Sporty TV partnership, is part of the ones we're going to be calculating on that one. So yes, definitely I see Vinicius, I see Mbappe scoring in that game. And then the second to last is Brighton and the Nottingham Forest, I see a lot of violence in this game. We know Brighton, they score goals, especially if you have the likes of João Pedro, you know, in his element, and the, you know, I'm not good with the names, but the Asian man. Yeah, I know who I'm speaking about. I see him causing some serious favor. Yeah, Mitoma, that's the one. Thank you, Sarah. And then, lastly, is Juve. I've got a home win. I know Juve have not been the best, you know, recently, but I don't think...
New manager bounce?
Yeah. You never know. I see it happening. Like, literally, I don't know why I'm so sure of this bet, though. If I was anybody watching this, if you're not taking this one seriously, I think you're slipping, not just on a bicycle, but on a bicycle without a pedal. So please, 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 don't tell me, I missed out on that one. If you're not confident with Alex, especially with how much he started me this evening because of his height, Alex, in your next word, you're not going to be tall. Bet me.
Well, does that mean you are going to be tall?
Yes. I just said it.
Zoomed in on that point. I wish they did. They just missed something. Know what's happening on the show anymore. All right, I'll go for my second booking code because I thought it was higher. It's 11.26 though. It is higher than the first one, and I'm going for a little bet builder, Napoli and Milan. And unfortunately for Lucrezia, I'm taking Napoli to win this one, so we're going with a home win under 3.5 goals. I don't see too many goals in this one. It's a Serie A. Both teams are going to be very defensive. Both teams have a lot on the line, so under 3.5. Santiago Jimenez, though, 2 or more shots on target. He's averaging, I think, about 2.77 right now. We know that he's a star for Milan, and he has a lot to prove since he's just come over in January. So one to look out for, as well as Scott McTominay, 2 or more shots. We know he's been on fire this season for Napoli. So that'll get you 11.26, and maybe add a little bit more drama to that Serie A match if you need it. Alex, give us your last booking code, please.
I've got obviously the 4 games on Sporty TV this weekend, and we've got FA Cup to kick off the 4-game accumulator that I've got going here. Odds of 13.47. Of course, these odds are subject to change. I've gone for Fulham to beat Crystal Palace in the FA Cup this weekend. I've gone for both teams to score between Eintracht Frankfurt and Stuttgart. I've gone for Ivan Neu to be carded against Real Madrid.
Confirmed lock.
And I've gone for Napoli to score first against AC Milan. Sorry, Lucrezia, but I had to do it.
Wow. Okay, wait. I want to break this one down. Fulham to win, both teams. You know what I find has gotten us in the last...
Both teams to score?
No, Bundesliga. It's the Bundesliga game that always... That's probably the only one. I'd say Maneu is a lock. Napoli to score first. I like that they're at home and they're, you know, better side right now, producing more goals. We all went for a Fulham win. Is that in regular time?
I think so, yes. I think
they should be able to do it.
I think it's in the 90 minutes. So if it goes to extra time and penalties, that doesn't come in.
Okay, keep that in mind. Yeah, it's a bit tricky when it comes to...
Because there is a different bet where you can do Fulham to qualify for the next the FA Cup.
Maybe.
So this is it within 90 minutes.
All right, well, a big one for Alex. Guys, as you know, on Monday when we come back from the weekend, we always look at what codes boomed, and Clinton's pretty sure his is going to. So
mine is coming in easy.
Coming in hot. All right, friendly reminder, guys. Leganes and Real Madrid this weekend. Clinton, we are going to be there. It's the Sporty TV derby.
Absolutely, man, and I feel like that one is going to be one of the most exciting matches that we would be seeing in that ground. Like I said, I don't know who to be supporting on this one. Might end up being Leganes. Obviously, just to be that partnership present for the team.
Yeah.
You know, we've just done something really amazing, something massive. So yeah, let's give you a win, especially a win at the Bernabeu, though. But I mean, God knows I don't see it happening. I mean, it's just too hard to believe, Sarah. Like I don't.
Well,
yeah, in as much as I want. Yeah, well, I mean, we would see, but in as much as I'm trying to just, you know, convince myself. But the convincing spirit isn't even letting me. It's not happening, man.
All right, guys. Well, we'll be there, and we will see what will happen. But Sporty TV, officially partnered with Leganes. Wait, let's try. Yeah, there we go. Guys, coming up after today's show, we have Bayern Munich taking on Mozart in the EuroLeague, so stay tuned for that. And Clinton and I will be at Leganes and Real Madrid this weekend. Until Monday, as always, guys, enjoy the football. Do your Ebway with this shirt.
Ebway! I am staying here with Sporty TV, and we are going to go watch Leganes. Boom! Today is a special day. I waited a long time for this. An opportunity to rewrite my story.
Please welcome to Leganes, Sporty TV.
You didn't think you were getting rid of us that quickly, did you?